So finally, we're able to wrap up everything. And that's the beauty of the technology behind Houdini in general, because we're not using anything new from here on. I'm using, as you see, this packet folder because we are adding the guide skeleton as well. This is customized, the package character. I think it was designed to be used with the rig builder because it doesn't have an input for the guide skeleton. Probably in the future they will add this, but anyway, that's why I'm using this workflow. And let me play this. So again, this works for both rigs. Very cool. It's low because of the viewport, because the math itself, it's not that complicated. If we just remove the shape, see, pretty simple. Here, this was just a small script to override. Let me show. I'll show you this a little bit later, just to override the base rig with the base skeleton with the guides, so it's easier for us to see and, of course, debug everything. So let me set this. So as you see, the draw time is real time. So it's not the matrices, the linear algebra happening inside the rig that is slowing down things, but rather the viewport itself. So some issue happened here. Yeah, this was missed. So now it's working. So, well, I think that this is very cool. Let's take a look at the rig. So here we have the same thing as we did, or at least I walked you through this transform objects creation. This is the same thing. Of course, we have a lot, but that's the same idea. Same thing for input promotion that is happening here. And here we have the same thing as I talked earlier as well in the piston part, where we built our system or automation for lookat creation. Of course, you can try the lookat from this built-in components. I think it yes, it has here. We can try that out. I ended up doing this because I wanted to further learn Apex and, of course, to build everything inside my workflow, my pipeline. So here we have those, the lookats. We have those reference transforms, as I told you before. And here we are outputting the base skeleton as I changed in a previous video. But here I'm just changing that to get the guide skeleton and then feed that in the set point transforms. So that's what's happening here. Let me find that out. Yeah, here. So this is what this is changing, just to be able to override the base skeleton with the guide skeleton. We could have just duplicated this and feed into a different port. Then that way we could output the base skeleton and the guide skeleton. That's another way to do. Apex has, if I'm not mistaken, a graph method. Well, let's just search for that, but I think it has a graph method for duplicating nodes. So let's search for it. Yeah, here. I'm not sure if how this works. I've never tried, but let's try it out. So here, let's call it guides animated. It is an Apex node ID type, graph dot duplicate node, and it needs the node path, the name, and keep inputs. So the node path is animated scale. Scale, probably we don't need to add the path using this, but let's try anyway. Let's call it animated guides. And you want to keep the inputs, so true. And let's see what happens. So we have it here. Here we are connecting the rest. So let's connect this. So connects the geo out. So dot geo out promote as something else. Else dot scale, just to see what happens. Yeah, something happened here. Oh, it promoted it, but not as I expected. Maybe I have to further look at the help, because the way I see this should have kept these inputs, but that's not what is happening here. So not sure. This was just an idea. I just tested here kind of live. But anyway, I don't think applicating this set point transforms for both rigs is something useful. I think for just debugging, it's easier to just override the basic skeleton with the animated skeleton. So it's easier. Here I'm setting the configure controls. And yeah, since this is I think the second time I'm recording this video, I think I forgot to say something. I wasn't able to create some kind of limitation for this without breaking the rig. So let me show you. Just duplicate this. So ideally, we would find a way to not allow this. I've already set here in this configure controls. I showed you how to do this. So we are limiting the rotation for the top part in this degrees and the translation. But this is not enough, because since this has a quite complex movement, if we start to rotate in all directions, we will eventually break the rig, as you see here. So I wasn't able to find a way to do that. It's easy enough using your guides, our guides, to be able to see if this was collapsed or if this stretched more than the limit. So we are able to find if the rig was broken or not, but the difficult part was to reverse the engineering and to limit the position and rotation of this top part so it won't break the rig. So managing to get the where the rig was broken and fixing this top joint was quite difficult. Again, I wasn't able to fix that. Hopefully you'll be able to do something different, and if you are maybe clever than me, you can find a way out. So what I've tried was putting everything this in a for loop. So at the end of the loop, I had all the matrices for everything, and then I could go back and fix that. But at least my math wasn't good enough to find a way to reverse engineer those joints and put the stop joint in such a way that it wouldn't break the rig anymore. So that's it. And I think that's all. And well, I think, or at least I hope, you was able to learn not just a few things, but a lot of things, because there were several videos. I tried to put everything that I knew about Apex and Apex script. At least I tried to put all the problems I had while using Apex in those videos. It ended up being less complex than I thought they would be when I was planning this series. I didn't talk so much about matrix math as I thought I would. So if you are still struggling with those matrices, just leave me a comment and maybe I can build something different in the future to address just that part. And in the future, I'm hoping to build another series, but on character rigging using custom tools as well. So my aim is to create more Apex automation to build everything that the rig builder is able to do now, but using custom tools so we can further customize and build things our way, at least my way. So that's it for now. Again, I hope you liked, and if you want to ask anything, as always, just leave me a comment either on YouTube or on Discord. I try to keep up with some of the channels, especially the Apex one nowadays, on the Go Procedural Discord channel. So I hope to see you there. And that's it for now. So bye bye.